Hi guys, welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be reviewing this, which is Lewis Reed's Volkswagen Caddy, and it's an accessible vehicle as a passenger. So I'm going to bring you around to the side first, right? Because it's a really nice looking van. So we've got LED daytime running lights. We've got some real nice big alloys, and I like this color blue. I will say that. Then I'm going to bring you around show you the driver's seat and at the front of the cabin, but we'll cover the inside in a bit. But we've got a cloth interior, digital dash, which again, I'll come to that in a bit. Then I'm going to bring you into the back. And in the back, you'll see that we've got the double seat folded forward and the single seat up. This is a 5-seater passenger van with the option of either having the double seat down like that, so that with the wheelchair, once the wheelchair is in there, you can either have the wheelchair next to the single seat. So it would be a 4-passenger van, or you can stick it as a 5-passenger, but then you would have, actually no, there would be 6. You could have a 6-passenger van with the double seat folded back up, so you'd fit your 5 passengers in the actual van seats, and then a wheelchair behind them, which will come around to the back. So we're going to come around to the back, and this video is going to be slightly different to normal. So this van does have an electric tailgate on it, but as you can see, this has got a ramp on it. So now we're going to cover the ramp and folding, the lowering of the suspension, but I'll introduce my assistant who is going to do all of that part of it. So I'll be behind the camera, but you'll still hear me talking. So let's get to the van and unfolding the ramp. So now I'm going to show you the unfolding of the ramp. So first, this is my assistant Cameron, and he is going to unfold the lift. And you can just about make out there that there is a little light, which is a silver button, which highlights the button with the light around it. We're going to click that button, which then unfolds the ramp. There we go. And then we're going to lower the suspension by just above that. There is a little button which with a down arrow. And as you'll see, very slowly, the ramp is getting less of a gradient because the suspension is going down. So now I'm going to get in the van and show you inside the van in the rear as a passenger. Right, so we're in the back of the van. I'm seat belted in. Also, we're going to put clamps on in a minute, which I'll show you. You can see that in a second, so what that looks like. But all in all, I've got to be honest, if you were traveling as a passenger, I'd be pretty fine. So I'll show you what it's like to clamp it in, and where the clamp will go, and then we'll cover the transfer in, and then once I'm in, I'll talk you through the interior and the front of the cabin as a driver, and then we'll go for the drive. Right, now my assistant is going to show you how to clamp the clamps into place. So we're going to get the clamps out of the cubby hole. I like that little storage compartment for them as well. I like that. So then we're going to literally slide them over the appropriate hole until they click into place like that. Same on the other side. And you can hear they've clicked into place. Now we're going to press the red lever on the back just to give it a bit of slack so that you wouldn't be able to then connect them to the chair. Then you're going to turn the handle on the side just to tighten them so that it would then stop the wheelchair from moving altogether. Then you've arrived at your destination. You want to unclamp them, so you're going to press the red lever again to release the slack. Then we're going to do the same on the other side. Then to disconnect them from the van, on the back, lift the lever and slide them out. That's number 1. Same again on the other side, and like that. And then it is as simple as that. Now we're going to cover the transfer in. Now, you would have seen already, if you haven't noticed maybe, this isn't my everyday chair. My current chair is in for repairs. Doing all these reviews, it's just broken it. But we're going to transfer in, so it might take me a little longer because I'm still not used to this chair. I only had it like 2 days. So let's cover the transfer in. Right, and we're in. Right, so we're inside the van, and as you can see, my transfer in was a little bit difficult because the van is a lot higher up, and like I said, I'm not in my everyday chair. So it's got a lot of features inside. It's very minimal, but I like it. It's very easy and a nice layout. So we'll start over this side. So we've got your light controls over here. And so it's currently set to automatic lights. You might as well just leave it at that. We've got electric windows, and then we've electric wing mirrors, I should say. Sorry, electric windows. We've got passenger lock on the back. We've got unlock and lock on here. We've got automatic wipers. What else have we got? We've got paddle shift because I do like that a bit. So that on this side, this controls your driving stats and your driving details on this screen here. So, for example, you can either have the date, or you can have road signs or your digital speed dial, as well as your analog ones. On the left hand side is your cruise control with adaptive cruise control. Then this is your infotainment screen. All touch. It's got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, DAB radio, Bluetooth. Then these, I don't know if you can quite see them. So these are your temperature dials, and they're all touch. So as you can see, when you click this one, you just touch them, and it highes and lowers the temperature. Um, then we're going to click these buttons here. So if we click them, brings up your climate control settings on the screen. So for example, if you want to just heat or cool your feet, you can select them, or you can just go under a really smart version of it, which has got all presets in there, which is so much easier. It does also have a reversing camera, which I'll put my foot on the brake, select reverse, and then you'll see it's not the greatest quality of camera, but it's still a parking camera with parking sensors. So then we're going to come down to the gear selector. There's this little stick is your gear selector, so you're literally going to point it down for drive, up one for neutral, up one for reverse, sorry, and then park is this little button here. We're just going to click that, and then it applies the handbrake automatically and turns the car off on to start stop. So now I'm going to go for a short drive. I've had this car van rather for a couple of days. So we go for a short drive, and then we will get our ratings at the end. So we just pulled over, and as you would have just seen, I've gone for a very short drive. But like I said to you, I've lived with this van for a couple of days. Overall, first impressions of this adapted Volkswagen Caddy by Lewis Reed. Honestly, it's brilliant. It really is. As a passenger solution, it's brilliant. And I mean, if you wanted a big van like this and you wanted to be a driver, there are other adaptations that can be done. Not so much in terms of an internal transfer, but you could have, if you just wanted a big space in the back, for a wheelchair, and you still want to drive, maybe you could have such a thing like a transfer plate, maybe if you struggle like transfers like I do. So that is going to bring me to my ratings. So the first one we'll cover is comfort. Comfort, we're going to score it a 5 because it is very comfortable. Performance, I'm going to score that a 5 because it's brilliant. It really is a good van. Accessibility, I think as a passenger, it's a 5 definitely. But for me as a driver, I'll score it a 4 because I did still get in there, and that's even without my everyday chair. And then we've got practicality, which is also going to score a 5 because there's all different options you can have with this particular type of van from Lewis Reed, whether you want to have it as a 6-seater van or as a 4-seater van. It's there's so many different things you can do with it, whether that's as a passenger or as a driver. So honestly, it's a really, really good van. So that does bring me to the end of my video. I want to thank Lewis Reed for loaning me this Caddy, and for trusting me with it because it's one of the new ones. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you all again soon.